So hi everyone and welcome to the second part of the drawing in React tutorial. So let's continue straight where we left last time and let's try to get a bit more action this time. So let's start by adding the basic drawing and scaling for this image here. Okay, so to do that let's add the mouse listeners for the canvas. So let's add here we need the mouse move and the on wheel event handler. So let's simply put on wheel. Okay, and let's put, we don't have it yet, but let's put this dot on wheel, and then let's add on mouse move equals this dot on mouse move, like this, and then let's simply add these guys here. Okay, so let's put here on mouse move, and this event will be react dot mouse event type void, and then let's check if event dot buttons is not one, so if the mouse is not clicked, so then simply return, and then we simply modify our canvas transport that we defined earlier. So tx will be event does movement x, and the same also for the y direction, like this. Okay, that's it. And then let's add the on wheel event here, like event dot, and it will be react dot wheel event, yeah. And then simply the same thing, if event dot delta y is then 0, so then we will increase the scale a bit in this scale, like something like 0.05, so you can adjust this as you like. So the larger this value is, the stronger the scale effect will be. And otherwise we decrease it a bit like this. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's choose a file. Okay, but nothing happens now. Okay, this is expected. So when you use this class component, we need to use this kind of binding. So we first need to bind like this dot on wheel equals this dot on wheel dot bind this. So this is something that you easily forget, and the same also for the mouse move part equals this dot on mouse move dot bind this. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, it's not yet working. Okay, but this was also successful though. Now the problem is that we have these two canvases here. So the first one is below the second one. So this wheel event won't be translated there. So let's simply move these guys to the second canvas and let's see what happens then. Okay, and let's reload, and then it's not yet working, so let's see what's going wrong. So let's put this guy here. Let's see if it's triggered at all. Okay, this actually goes. Okay, yeah, okay, the problem here is simply that, okay, well, we didn't update, so now when we modify the canvas transport, but we don't update the image, so we need to simply like draw the image again. So like this, so no problem there, and then like this, and let's repeat. Okay, and then yeah, that's not working. Let's reload. And okay, now it's kind of working a bit fast, maybe. Let's see the translation part. Okay, it's not, translation is not working, and that's not surprising because we don't have the translation part here. So let's put simply ctx dot translate this dot canvas transform dot tx and this dot canvas transform dot ty like this. And let's see. Actually, what is the problem? So why the scaling was so bad is that we have this plus there, but what we should be using is this multiply. So let's hope it's actually now bit smoother this time. So let's repeat it. Okay, and then open the image. Okay, we can see that. Okay, now it's only zooming in, so something went wrong. Okay, it's this is okay. Now this went. We need the. Actually, this doesn't make sense. I guess we need to like put it like this way. Okay, let's see now. Okay, let's repeat it. Okay, now it's pretty smooth, at least smooth enough for this purpose, and let's try to rotate it. Okay, and everything is fine here. So yeah, now we have the basic translation and scaling in action. So now even we have the basic translation and scaling working, one may wonder that how can we then separate this translation and scaling stuff from the drawing part. So for that purpose, let's refactor the code again a bit. So let's put all the functionality behind different kind of tools, and then we just pass the mouse event to the tool that is active at different states. So let's create this kind of default tool called default tool, which is responsible for all this translation and scaling. So let's simply add here a new file, and let's call it default tool.ts, and this will not contain any React type, so we don't need this, only type is enough here. So let's simply put it like default tool, and then let's add the same on mouse, this same mouse move stuff. Here we can actually copy it from this guy here, and let's put it these guys here like this. And now we actually need to have this drawing canvas as parameter, so we will give this active drawing canvas as a parameter like this, and let's do the same here. This was one of the purposes why I wanted to define the drawing canvas as a class, because then we can easily pass it as a reference. I'm pretty sure this is easily achievable by also this kind of more functional way, but yeah, I find it easy to implement using this class formalism. So let's add here on the draw, instead like putting this stuff here, so let's add this translate and scale functions on the drawing canvas. Also let's put it translate tx, which is a number, and ty, which is a number, and then we don't return anything, and then the same is for scale. We just need one guy here, and then let's copy paste again the same stuff here like this. Was this the correct way? Yeah. Okay, no. Simply x. But actually let's call this delta x for better boarding here. X, and let's put this like delta y. Okay, and then let's put the same for the scaling part like this. This. And let's call it again delta scale. So if delta scale is like this, okay, I think this should be fine, and then we can simply remove, we can simply call like not yet like this drawing canvas dot translate and event dot movement x and event dot movement y like this, and that's enough. And then the same also for the wheel part like this, only scale and let's put it event dot delta y like this, and this should be fine. Okay, and then we need a way to actually get access to this default tool, so let's simply again use this our canvas manager here, and let's put here a class. Let's add the default tool here. We actually need to remember to export this default tool like this, and now we can use it on the canvas manager here. So let's call this like active tool. At this point it's only either default tool or null, and then simply let's create a new, this active tool is new default tool like this, and then we actually simply add the same mouse movement stuff here, so we can actually, let's copy paste it again from here like this. Okay, and here we can actually remove this because we have the drawing canvas is actually private field of this canvas manager, so we don't need it here. So simply remove it, and then we simply call it like this. So let's check first that if canvas is null tie or this dot active tool is null. So let's return, we don't do anything if not, so then we will simply call this dot active tool, this dot on mouse move, and then we pass the event and this dot canvas like this, and then let's do the same for this guy here. Okay, and this was on a wheel, yeah. Okay, and now the only thing remaining is to actually call this guy here, so on mouse move, so we can simply do like this dot props.canvas_monitor.onMouseMove event, and then let's do the same for the on wheel part here. On wheel. Okay, let's see if it compiles at all. So okay, so now we should see the exactly same thing as before, but it's like refactored in a better way. So let's see what happens. Okay, we can see that it still scales, and yeah, we can translate it so it seems that it's working as intended. Okay, so let's continue and let's add the line drawing capability here. So let's simply add again a new tool here called line tool, and this will be again a React component. So let's call this simply this class line tool, and this will extend React component. Let's again declare this, declare type line tool props. This will actually, we need the canvas manager here, manager, and let's declare type line tool state, and let's put it simply empty at this point. Actually, props, I guess we need an equal sign here, like this. Okay, and this line tool props, and this line tool state. Okay, let's import React, import React from React. Okay, and no more red here. Okay, and then simply call the constructor props, which are the line tool props here. Okay, and then let's add the render function here. So this will be just a simple button at the beginning. So, but we will later make this as a toggle button so that we can see whether the button is pressed or not. So let's simply call line like this, and then there we need to still add this to the toolbar, export default line tool like this, and now we can use it on the toolbar. So let's simply put line tool here. Okay, so okay, so we need to add the canvas manager property, so that this dot creates props dot canvas manager like this. Okay, and let's see if we got the line on the view. Okay, actually it's there, but it at the moment it doesn't do anything. So let's add the toggling functionality and activation stuff and such. Okay, so let's add a new style here for the button. So we want to make the button a toggle button. So when the user presses it, so we want to change its appearance so that the user notices that it's activated. So let's call it tools.module.css, and then let's call it at the property line tool toggle on like this, and it has the background color RGB. Let's put it simply red. So the idea here is simply that when the user activates the line tool, so then it will change its appearance to red. So let's do this on the action. So let's modify the state like this, so let's add the isDocklet property, which is of boolean, like this. Actually there's a bug here, so this will be constructor, and this is the line tool props, like this. Okay, and then simply call the super like this. Okay, and then we initialize the state will be isDocklet, which is false. So at the beginning it's not active, and let's take the style sheet here on the action. So let's put it like so. The class style, so this will be class style will be class, let's call it class string, and this will be this depends on the toggle property. So let's see, this will be like state.isDocklet. So if it's Docklet, so then it will be, yeah, so then we take on the action the style, but first we need to import the style. So let's go import tool styles from, I guess it was something like resource.tools.module.css, like this. Okay, and then this will be simply tool styles.line to toggle on, or simply empty string. And then now let's use this class string, like class name is class string, like this. Let's see if it compiles. Okay, it seems to be compiling. Okay, but now nothing happens, so we need to add a on-click listener here. So let's put it on click is this.handle click, and let's add the handle click property here, like handle click, and this will be GUI type, and then simply let's check the new toggle state will be opposite to current toggle state, and then call the set state is Docklet, visit is Docklet, bit cumbersome, and like this, and let's see what happens. Okay, there's some error. Okay, I guess, okay, this second, I guess this is simply the binding problem, so we need to again do the binding here. So this dot handle click is this dot handle bind this, like this, and let's see what happens now. Okay, now we can see that it's working as it should. Okay, so now let's take this line tool on action. So let's add this on the canvas manager. So let's put it like it can be like line tool, well, not like this, tool or null. Okay, let's see, are we exporting the line tool? Yes, we are. So import line tool. Okay, now it's there. This is actually maybe not the best programming style. So these kind of different kind of toolings that inherits the same functionality. See, this is something where this kind of inheritance and hierarchy will be a good way to utilize, but let's not go there in this tutorial, but that's just a note here. But anyway, so let's put it by, let's add this kind of activate function here, so that now this is actually complaining about the on mouse move because the line tool doesn't have it, but we will add it later. But if we would like implement some sort of base class, so then this would not be a problem. But let's add the activate stuff here. So the line tool will call the activate and do one tool and like this, and then we will simply put the active tool, which will be the line tool, and then let's add the deactivate call activate, and which is simply like, let's put here the void, and let's say here. Okay, so now the active tool will simply be the equal to this dot default tool. Okay, but we actually need to add the default tool here, so let's put it like this default tool, which is, this will be always default tool, and let's put like this dot default tool equal to new default tool, and this will be simply a default tool like this. Okay, and then let's add the activate function also for the line tool here. So let's put the activate call, and then we simply call this props.canvasman.activate with this, and the same for deactivate, and the same for this guy, and deactivate like this, and then we will call this. Okay, this doesn't take a parameter at all, and then we will simply check that here, that if it's stocklet, so then we will go activate this dot activate, or else this called deactivate. Okay, and let's see if it's working. Okay, so let's first select image here. So now we can see that the scaling and translation is working. And then let's activate the line tool. Okay, actually there's some error here. Okay, the mouse move. Okay, so let's add these guys first. Here on the, let's simply add the, so let's copy paste them from the on mouse move stuff. We can leave them as, let's leave them unimplemented at this stage. So I guess we need to import the drawing canvas. Okay, and let's take a new try here. Okay, and then let's get translation and scaling is working, and then let's activate the line. Okay, the translation and scaling is no longer working. That's because the line tool is activated, not the default tool. Let's see if we deactivate it, and now it's working. Okay, so now we can see that we can switch between the line and default tool, and the only thing remaining is actually implement the line tool. So let's add the line tool functionality actually here. So on the line tool, let's add this. Let's add the state for the line that is being drawn. So let's put it like private line state. So the line will be simply represented by XY start coordinates and the XY end coordinates. So this will simply like X start, which is a number, and then U start, which is a number, and then X end, which is a number, and then Y end, which is a number, like this. And at the beginning, the line that will be simply in null. This dot line state is null. Actually, dead or null. Like this. And then we actually need the mouse down event. So it will be event, which is a react dot mouse event, and then we again need this drawing canvas as a parameter here. So actually at this point we want to have the access for this dynamic canvas, so let's add getter for that first here. So let's put it, for example, here like get dynamic canvas here, and this will return the HTML canvas element or null. So we will simply return this dynamic canvas def current like this, and now we can access this guy here. So we can simply put like const canvas is drawing canvas dot get dynamic canvas like this. Okay, if the canvas is null, so we don't actually do anything. This is maybe not necessary. Getting the dynamic canvas here is maybe not necessary, but let's do it like this. And then let's take the x coordinate, like const x is event.client x, and const y is event.client y, and then we simply initialize the state. So this will be x, this is line state exactly. State will be x start, which is x, and then y start, which is y, and we will put the start and end point as the same because we don't have the second point yet. Y end, which is simply y, like this. Okay, and this is number like this. Okay, and then on that, let's go to the mouse move. We can actually copy paste this stuff again here. So like this. Actually, we can actually take the same thing here, like this. Okay, but the only difference here is that now we don't want to modify the start, end and start point, so we will simply call this will be this dot line state dot x start, and it's not line state actually. Yeah, so this is complaining about the null, possible null, so we can simply put here that if line state is null. So now we get rid of it, and this dot line state dot y start like this. Okay, and now we have everything ready for the to actually draw the line. So let's add the functionality to draw the line. So I will put this as a static function here. Let's go draw line, and this will simply take the line state. Actually, let's repeat this guy here, line state. This may be not necessary here. Line state, and then we got the canvas, which is again the HTML canvas element like this. And here we will simply put the, we need to first clear the canvas, otherwise we will see all the time see multiple lines there. And this is the reason why we are using duplicate canvases. So we are doing this kind of dynamic drawing on this top canvas, which doesn't contain anything else than simply this one line. Because if we would do the drawing on we will use just one canvas, so then every time when we move the mouse, we would need to draw the whole scene again, which will be very computationally expensive. So that's why we're using the bottom and top canvas, which we named static and dynamic. So here we simply clear the canvas by setting the canvas size like this, and the same for the height like this, client like this. And let's access the context, canvas rendering context, and can be null, and this is the canvas.get context. We get the 2D context like this, and then check if CTX is null. We simply return, and then let's start actually drawing. Stroke style, let's put the color, so let's use the green one, green, and then let's put the dot stroke line, it's line width, and let's put it to 4, and then let's picking the line, so CTX picking path, and like this, and CTX.move to, and then we go to the first point, date.xstart, and then line state.y start, and then we call line 2, and this is the line state.xend and line state.yend like this, and simply CTX stroke. Okay, looks pretty okay. So then we still need to add the functionality for the on mouse down. So let's add that thing also to the canvas manager. So let's put it here on mouse down. So we will simply call, let's make this same thing. Let's just copy paste it like this. Okay, and the tool mouse down. And then we need to add the default tool. So this is again the example why in this case using the inheritance would be good, because we could just create the base class and put the default stuff there, so we don't need to add this kind of mock stuff here, so we can simply do nothing here. And then we need to add this to the actual drawing canvas, so we need this on mouse down call here. So we will simply go on mouse down, and this will be mouse down, marker dot down, mouse down. Not really sure why is it saying. Oh, okay, there's extra drawing canvas. Yeah, so let's not put it there. So let's see now. Mouse down, okay, it looks good, and maybe we need an here on mouse, like on mouse down, yeah, and this dot on mouse down, okay, like this, and then yeah, let's remember to pin this time so that we don't wonder why it not working. So this dot on mouse down is this dot on mouse down dot pinned this. Okay, so let's see if anything happens or if it even compiles. So let's see. Let's take another. Okay, and then let's put a line. Okay, we cannot see anything here, so let's try to debug what's the problem. Okay, so let's add a few breakpoints here to, let's put it like, let's see if it goes here at all. So okay, it's already okay, here's actually a problem. We're actually now missing the we don't check that whether the actually the mouse is down, so only moving the mouse is enough, so we need to fix that. But we can see that it goes to the mouse move, but actually the problem here is that we don't actually calling the draw line here, so let's add that one here. So simply after this, so let's call line tool dot draw line, this dot line state, and drawing canvas here. Oh, that's meant a bit better. Let's see. Let's see what's. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, so we need to actually, yeah, not drawing canvas, but the canvas like this. Okay, now it seems to be okay, and then let's actually bit modify the canvas manager guy. So actually let's move this guy away from here like this, and let's put it here on the canvas manager guy, so like this. So this means that you need to have the button down, so only moving the mouse is not enough, otherwise it's getting messy. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Okay, let's take a file here and let's add line. Okay, now we can see something, it's almost working, but it's coming in the wrong place. So it's coming to the wrong place, and there's always, the line doesn't stay there. So the reason why it's not coming to the correct place is that we start drawing the line from the mouse coordinates, but I think the mouse coordinates are with respect to this corner here. So then we should take into account this toolbar height here. So we should kind of reduce the toolbar dimensions to get the correct. So we want to get the mouse coordinate with respect to the canvas, with respect to canvas origin, not this origin. So we need to modify the client X stuff next. Okay, so let's add the function to calculate the offset. So let's go to the line tool and let's add the static function that actually calculates the offset. Let's create the function absolute position, and this will simply take some HTML node. Let's put it as any, and this will return an array of numbers. So these are the offsets. So this will give the position with respect to the screen origin. So let's set x equals 0. We need the offsets to 0, and then set y to 0 like this, and then let's recursively, or let's iterate over all parents of the node. So let's put offset x plus is node plus offset left plus node plus client left, and same for the y coordinate here, offset y, offset, this will be offset top actually, and this will be offset client top like this. And then let's simply put node equals to node dot offset parent. Now when we didn't give the actual type of the node, so now the code completion does not work, so that's a bit annoying. So like this, and then simply return offset x dot offset y like this. Okay, and then let's take this on the action on our code. Like, let's modify this so that we first calculate the offset x, offset y, and this equals to line tool dot get absolute position for canvas like this, and then we simply reduce the offset x and offset y like this, and let's put the same for the mouse move stuff here like this. Okay, and let's see if it works. Okay, let's reload, and then choose file, then line. Okay, and now you can see that it's in the draws in the correct position. Okay, then what is still remaining is that now we can see that the line does not remain on the canvas when we start drawing a new line. So what we need to do is that when we stop drawing, so when we get the mouse up even, so then at that point we will add the draw line to the static canvas. So let's do that next. Okay, so let's continue by adding the walls to the static canvas. So let's first add here on the Drawwish canvas a new private weird code line. So let's simply put it as a simple struct like, which is the basic line definition with x start and y start. As before, we could put something fancier for more demanding tasks, but this is fine for now. It's like this. And then let's add the lines here private lines and they're of type line like this. And then let's initialize those yet to the, let's put it here like this dot lines equals like this, and then let's add a function to actually add the ball here. So let's put it, for example, here. So let's put like add ball, and then we get line, which is of type line, and then let's simply put it like like this dot lines dot push line like this. And then we need to, after adding the line, we need to update the canvas so that we can see the change. But now we of course also need to add the line drawing stuff, so let's add that here at, for example, at the end. I like to do this as a static function, so let's call it draw lines, and then simply we get an array of lines, and then we need the rendering context, which is of type canvas rendering context 2D, and like this. And then let's again put the stroke style to green as before, and the line width to 4, and then let's loop over all the lines, like line, not like Python, like this. And then let's check if line is null, so then simply continue, and then the same stuff as before, so ctx dot taking path and ctx dot move to line dot x start dot line dot y start like this, and then ctx dot line to, and this is line dot x end dot line dot y end, and then simply ctx dot stroke like this. And now we need to update the drawing function, so draw image. So here we need to simply call this drawing canvas dot draw lines, this dot lines, and then we give the ctx there like this. Okay, and then we of course need to remember to add the mouse up function, and then modify the line tool so that we actually add the ball here. Okay, so let's add on the line tool, let's add the mouse up event. So let's simply copy paste this pretty much here and simply put it like on mouse up, and everything here is pretty much the same. And then here we need to check that let's check if the line state was null, so then we can't do anything, so we will simply return, and then we simply call drawing canvas dot add ball, and then we call this dot line state there, and that's pretty much it. And then we can remove this stuff here, and then we need to of course add the functionality here. So we need that listener for this canvas. So on mouse down, so let's put it like this, on mouse up listener here, mouse up, and then we need of course the corresponding handler, mouse up, and again nothing special, just simply mouse up, and then we need to pin this again, this dot mouse up is this dot mouse up dot pins this, and then add the same functionality here on this canvas manager on mouse up, and then the same as here, and then final thing remaining is that this is complaining about the default tool, so add here the bare bone. Again, using some sort of base class would avoid to do this for all classes, this stuff, but maybe this is fine here. So let's see what actually happens. So let's choose the file here, and then let's start drawing. Okay, nothing actually happens, so let's try to debug if we actually are adding the if we actually came here or what actually happens. Okay, so it doesn't come even at this far, so let's see what's wrong. So let's go to the canvas manager and let's go to the mouse up event. No, it's not going there, so let's go to the drawing canvas and let's see what's there going. Okay, that is activated, so why is not going? Okay, actually, yeah, that is wrong, so let's simply remove this, so we don't want this guy here. Okay, so let's take a new try here. Okay, yeah, did we close the window? I guess, yeah, so let's continue. See if we get the new screen available. Okay, let's test screen. And let's see what happens now. Okay, let's go there. Let's remove these guys. Okay, now we can see that there's something funny going on there. There's two lines now and the line goes to the wrong place. So what we need to do is that we need to clear the dynamic canvas where we're drawing, and then we need to fix the coordinates here. Okay, so let's fix these issues then. So let's add here first a method to clear the dynamic canvas. So let's simply put here clear dynamic canvas, and this simply void, and get the dynamic canvas. This is the dynamic canvas depth of current, and then if it's null, so then simply return, and then otherwise we will simply set the width and height arguments to the current setting, so that will redraw the canvas and width, and the same for the height stuff here. Height, and then like this, and then we need to line to on the mouse up, we simply call drawing canvas, one clear dynamic canvas, and let's see what happens now. Choose a file, and it's true. Oh, there's something funny here. Drawing load. Okay, now let's get there, and let's see what happens now. Okay, now we can see that the lines are actually remaining, so they're no longer on the dynamic canvas. But what is now happening is still the wrong coordinate transform there. So what we need to do is that the problem here is that this the static canvas, there's this translation and scaling occurring. So now what we need to do is that that when we add the line, we need to convert, we need to first do an inverse transform so that we get the, so that when we apply the canvas transform, we get the actual coordinate. So let's do that thing here. So simply go to where's the add wall function. This is actually a wrong function, so let's simply go to the again wrong place, add wall. Where's add wall? Add wall is there. So then, okay, here is the correct place. So then we simply access the rendering concept first. So static canvas is canvas HTML canvas element or null equals this dot canvas ref of current, and if static canvas equals null, we can simply return, and then we get that ctx const ctx is the canvas rendering context 2D or null is static canvas dot get context 2D. Okay, and again the null check is null, so we can return. Otherwise we get simply the inverse. Okay, now access the inverse transform, so this is simply ctx.get transform. So this will give us the matrix or the transform that will apply the scale and translation. So here we now need to want the inverse transform, so we first want to inverse transform the line coordinates. So when then we actually apply the canvas transform, we get actually the point itself. So let's put here const start point equals, let's put a new dom point line dot x start dot line dot y start, and same const start point canvas is start point dot matrix transform inverse transform. Okay, so now the on this so now we convert the line coordinates to this canvas coordinate system using the inverse transform, and then we do the same for the endpoint. So const endpoint is a new dom point line dot x end dot y line dot y end, and then simply const endpoint canvas equals endpoint dot matrix transform inverse transform. Okay, and then simply put const create a new line like const transformed line which is of type line, and this we are simply put start equals start point dot x, and then y start is start point dot y, and then x end is end point dot x, and then y end is start point dot end point dot y, like this, and then we simply add the transformed line here. Okay, and then actually we need to use the start point canvas here, same here, and then here, and then here. Okay, and then let's see what happens. Let's see. Okay, so okay, looks pretty good. So now the line goes to the correct place, but we can see that the line width becomes a bit larger. So again, the problem here is that the same thing, that the line thickness will be scaled, so we need to inverse scale the thickness again. So let's modify simply the bit. Let's put here add the scale here, so scale number, and then this is simply divide this by the scale, and then draw here. So here we simply give this dot canvas transform dot scale, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's choose a file again, and then let's see what happens. Okay, now we can see that it's working as intended. Okay, so I think this is pretty much about ready. So we will easily add more functionality, like how to move this line and how to clear this stuff and change the color and stuff like that. But let's leave that to the other time. So I hope you get something out of this tutorial, and if you have any questions or comments, so please leave them on the comment section. So thank you very much.